What's going on, you guys? It's me, AnarchYxNinja, and today is the day the Bad Batch just ended. After like 3 years or whatever it was, 3-4 years, I don't know how long it's been out. Something like that. But, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like the overall thoughts of the show. It's alright. It was nothing, you know, like, great, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't horrible. I enjoyed it. What I am surprised, well, it is spoiler warning. I mean, I don't think I even have to say that. But, you know, there is always that one idiot who doesn't understand that, so. I think the biggest thing I was surprised about, or maybe disappointed with the finale. Overall, the finale was good, but if I had to pick my main complaint, none of them died. I like all the characters, you know. It's not like I want them to die because I just don't like them. It's just, I don't know, man. They had to go into that base and do all that they did, and they got out of there relatively unscathed. Crosshair, he's now Jaime Lannister. That's Jaime fucking Lannister now, but with a gun. But again, overall, I enjoyed the finale. It was a good episode, but that was my only real thing. Like, nobody died. Like, they released some of the other clones, which was cool. See the clones, you know, the average clones back in action, not just, you know, the Bad Batch. But they added some cannon fodder, so they were able to die, but none of them died, you know. What's his name? I'm already forgetting his name. Wrecker was damaged, but he's fucked up, but he's all right. They all get captured, slightly tortured, but they're fine at the end of the day. I'm like, all right, you know. At least they all get to live happily ever after. That doesn't happen in Star Wars very often. But they'll probably come back. And another thing, Omega's gonna need help, and then they're gonna go back, and then they'll die. And I hope they don't do that. Like, alright, even though I think some of them should have died this episode to make it a little more impactful. How do I put it? Don't then in another show, let's say, because, well, spoiler alert, Omega didn't die, obviously. She's now, you know, they showed her as an adult now. She's going off to join the rebellion, be a rebel pilot. So, one of the last things is, they're like, hey, if you need us, we'll always be here, you know? I'm like, okay, well, don't go get in no trouble in Omega, and then call them, and then they die in whatever that show is, or the comic, or wherever, if they decide to go forward with her story. Like, just end it there for them, at least. Maybe, yeah, move on with Omega, that's fine. I would imagine we'll see her at some point again. But I don't know if I want to then see one of the Bad Batch going into whatever that other show may be, and then dying there. I feel like they're just diminishing the character's death at that point. You should have done it here if they were going to die. But, hey, you know, whatever. What else? Oh, the tech rumors. Thank God those were not true. Thank God, dude. That would have been my main complaint if that special soldier, and that sounds really weird when you put it that way, but the black soldier, the black armored, you know, dude, everybody thought he was tech. Thank God it was not tech, dude. I would have been fuming if that was tech. I'm sick of dudes coming back to life, so they luckily did not do that. Just like all the Merrick predictions in Ahsoka, everybody was wrong. Don't even know who he was. He's just a clone, I guess. Just a nameless clone. But what else happened? Kids got out. Emery didn't betray nobody. The visuals were pretty good, especially for a cartoon. That final scene where they took out, man, I'm horrible with name. What's his name? Hemlock. Pretty cinematic looking, especially for a cartoon. What else? I mean, they really didn't. How do I explain it? Like, the thoughts are there, but I don't know how to put it into words. I kind of thought they would go a little more into, like, what the future direction of Project Necromancer would be. Because at the end of this episode, they had Tarkin, like, hey, we need it for Project Stardust, aka the Death Star. Which we know that. Tarkin's literally just a fucking thief in the Empire. He's just stealing out all the technology because he wants to get that thing built. GG's, bro, you fucking lost, loser. But, I was kind of expecting them to go into it a little more, like maybe it's going to get picked up by someone else, because we know it still exists. Project Necromancer. Apparently we're locking onto the Juggernaut. Project Necromancer, we heard in The Mandalorian, is still a thing. And that's how Palpatine is ultimately going to come back. And that's how they're going to explain it when it comes to the sequels. So they didn't even really mention or hint at that in any way. I was kind of thinking we might have seen a Thrawn very brief cameo to try to connect the dots, but they didn't. And again, I don't want to act like I'm just a Thrawn fanboy wanting to see him and everything, but it would make sense for the story, because we know if he's going to be the main dude that's now going to be in charge of, maybe not directly Project Necromancer, but he's, you know, a big dude that the story is going to move forward with. I thought they could have dropped him in there, and there was nothing of that. So we were wrong with that, because that's kind of where I thought it was going to go in terms of the project itself. But anyway, we know now where that project goes. The Hux, not the one from the sequels, but that guy's dad is in The Mandalorian Season 3. He's working on it with, what's the other guy's name? I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they're going to team up with Thrawn, obviously, going forward in whatever Thrawn's going to be shown in. And then Thrawn will fail in his shows, and then they'll carry on, obviously, in the shadows of the First Order. That's what's going to happen, so. What else am I missing here? What did you guys think? Most of you didn't seem like you really care, but it's weird. On social media, everybody's like crying that the show's over. I wish I was them, dude. I don't have that love for the show that they did. Like, some of the tweets I was reading, since I post Star Wars content, I always get recommended it, whether I want to see it or not. They're like, oh my god, it's over! I'm like, dude, I wish I had that love you have for this show. I like the show, but I'm not like, you know, like, this is the biggest deal I've ever had, you know? Like, whatever. So they're happy. None of their characters died. What is that? There's a party outside or something, or a dog dying, one of the two. So I apologize for the background noise, but again, it's the Philippines. That's what happens. They are a very social bunch. Unlike me, who's in my room just making videos for you guys. This is as social as I get. What else? There's a lot of stuff, but now I can't remember any of it because I don't do a commentary over the gameplay like a smart YouTuber would do. I just talk while I play, and now I can't think of shit. Anyway, it'll come to me. What did you guys think, though? Good, bad, yay or nay? Not as good as the Clone Wars, before someone asked, but it's better than Rebels. I like it better than Rebels, but... Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything I missed. I guess Nala Say died, the Kaminoan. Went all Admiral Akbar on the dude and blew him up, and that was a good move. I guess one of my only complaints, and again, maybe they'll pick it up in a story. It's not really a complaint, it's more of a question of what's going to happen. I should rephrase that. Is they blew up Omega's, what do you call it, database or whatever that has all the intel about her. But doesn't Palpatine know that? Wouldn't he, you know, maybe he doesn't know the fine specifics, you know, because I'm sure he can't remember everything, but he would know of Omega and her significance. So just because they escaped and then lost all the data, wouldn't that mean he would still try to get her moving forward? And maybe they will go down that road for her arc, you know, but... And they were like, oh, Hemlock's dead, but I go, Palpatine is directly involved in this, wouldn't he know? And wouldn't he just be like, let's go grab that bitch real quick and pick up where we left off, or, you know, rebuild what we could? I don't know. Again, maybe they will do that. Oh, hello. We're playing the clones today, just on another Bad Batch. I was gonna back out and try to get an attack at one, but I'm like, nah, just because of the Bad Batch, we'll be a clone. For our brothers, we don't leave each other behind. Nah, I'd totally leave a clone behind, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, got him, somehow. Wait, what? Did I see another Droideka? Oh, I think it's just a glitch. So confusing. Yep. No comment. What else? Okay, here's another question, but it's not about Bad Batch specifically. I heard something that they were making like a clone rebellion that they're gonna do, but I don't know if that comes from Legends or in a comic somewhere that is canon. I have no idea. Is that even real, or am I just like hearing false shit? Because I have no idea. But it's like, it's to me, it sounds like that might be the next cartoon we get. So what's the dude's Bradley? What's his name? The dude who voices the clones in the show. That dude's just making money, bro. He just got so many clones. The more of these cartoons they keep making, the more shows the more money he's gonna make. But I'm like, I can't. That show would be interesting, but I don't know if I really want to, you know, see it. But you know, now that I said it, I'm sure I'll probably love the fucking show when it comes out. But I wouldn't mind seeing clones fight, but again, I'm just not. I'm not like a lot of you guys. The cartoons, I can watch them and I can enjoy them, but they're not. I don't know how to word it. They're not my favorite. Like it's like I wish we could get live action. You know, the sad thing is, Bad Batch to me was better than like the Book of Boba, for example, or even Kenobi. Especially if you factor out the Darth Vader Kenobi scenes and you just go based off the story of that show, dude. Bad Batch is better. So why do we gotta put a better story in a cartoon, but live action we can't do that? Come on, dude. You gotta do better, Star Wars. I'm not saying Bad Batch can't be good. I'm like, please have it be good. If they're making it, I want it to be good. But I don't like when a lot of these cartoons kind of story-wise start making a little more sense than some of the live-action stuff. Where I'm like, how do I word it? Like in an example of Bad Batch, they don't have a whole lot of clickbait, right? So they have to focus a little more on the story. Where in live action, they focus more on the clickbait. Or the fan service is more the way you talk in the movies line of thing, you know? Like, oh, here's Darth Vader fighting Kenobi. Literally, that whole show was just fan service. There was not a story that needed to be told in the Kenobi show, other than they wanted to get Vader and Kenobi back together for the fan service. That show, I'll die on that hill. That show was just fan service. A bad example of fan service. Even though the fight scenes were cool, that was the sole reason they made the show, was to get those scenes. That's why the rest of the story felt like shit. Bad Batch can't do that. Because even if they did have Darth Vader show up, and for a split second I'm like, Vader gonna show up? When Tarkin said, yo, we on the way, I'm like, is Vader gonna show up with this motherfucker? He didn't, by the way. But even if he did, the clickbait doesn't have the same effect like it does in live action. So I feel like they need to kind of, you know, again, you can do the fan service stuff, but do it well, and of late they are not doing it very well. What's the last time I think they did fan service well? It was probably Mando Season 2 at the end when Luke came in. It made perfect sense, built up perfectly, paid off perfectly, and then they wrecked it right after with, you know, Book of Boba and reuniting them. But other than that, they handled that very well. It was fan service that made sense to the story. Anyway, what else? This is literally just a random video of me running in, dying, get one kill. Excuse me, clone. Are they still up here? No, it looked like they all dipped out. Okay, we were not rolling. Oh, I got shot. Never mind, I thought it was Kylo. What else? I know the moment I turn the shit off, I'm gonna remember stuff. That's the problem. You think I'd be a good YouTuber after 10 years? Nah, I'm a complete ass, bro. I don't write notes down. I don't got notes. I'm just thinking the whole show back, trying to think of something to talk about. Can't think of anything. So now what do we do? My finger's feeling better for the one of you who care. What else? I don't know. Maybe we'll just mute the mic here. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. Nothing interesting happened in the game. Or I'll just roast it because something stupid happens. And, you know, you don't need to hear it. You all know the game shit. I'll let the dog do the live commentary. Are there any heroes? No heroes? Let's be... You know what? We're gonna be a commando and honor a Bad Batch. Never mind. It's already over. Fuck that plan. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Bad Batch rant. That's basically all this was. But, yeah. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow if everything goes according to plan.